In today's video, I'm going to be rambling and yapping about the EggCraft lore, so I can give you the most up-to-date information without a script. So, first things first, there's this thing that happened where the realm kind of went all weird. It's a thing called the Old Future. The Old Future was everything that happened from March to October 2025 in the EggCraft storyline. All of the stuff that happened here technically happened, and it also didn't happen at the same time, and it can't happen because it already did happen. But some of it could happen, but it's all jumbled up. And the reason it's jumbled up is because the Order, which is a group of people, they destroyed the Susspool, which is the center of EggCraft. It's the EggCraft equivalent to God. They destroyed it. So the audio was everything that happened. I remember when the audio happened. I think it was March. It was March or May. The ordeal, because see, we're in this thing called the present, which is before the Order is strong enough to do the ordeal. So the Old Future isn't limited to the ordeal and the thing called EggCraft Chapter 2, EggCraft New Lands and Nutcraft. It isn't limited to those, it's also limited to some of the original EggCraft where the Order was strong enough, but in the shadows. So that's why lots of stuff for the OG players here, that's why lots of the stuff that you might remember isn't here, because we got time traveled back. And how did we get time traveled? It's because the Susspool, after being destroyed in the ordeal by the Order, it started regenerating itself, and it took months to regenerate itself. And then once it was finally back in its full form, it reverted time to before the Order's powerful enough to do the ordeal. And now, present day, everything's all present, right? This is what's going on in the realm right now as I record this. The Susspool has made itself stronger, more durable, so that it can't be bombed like it was in the ordeal. See, it's kind of weird. So the ordeal, during the ordeal, the way they managed to destroy the Susspool is the Order hacked a spawn defense system built by me, Egg7962, which is in the lore Omega, which is the most powerful of the 4 original gods. It's kind of different now because Big Bang Dodo left, but we don't need to get into that in this video. It's not very necessary to the lore. He didn't really do much, but yeah, there was 4 gods that the Susspool created at the very start of the realm. It was me, Mr. No Name, Easy Fear, and Big Bang Dodo with their own god names. And me, I created this statue of myself, but it also doubled as missiles inside the statue to defend Spawn from crazy threats, alien invasions and shit. If any of that was to happen in the lore, Omega could just shoot them down and save Spawn. And because they're godlike missiles, they're from a god, Omega, they are divine and shit. Because they're divine, when the Order hijacked the statue and shot the bombs at the Susspool, it actually managed to do enough damage to the Susspool to break it, because it's made from the most powerful powers of the Susspool, which was put into the gods. get what I'm saying? If you don't, then I don't know. But yeah, something like that. So anyway, the reason I'm saying this is because the Susball now has made itself more durable. It's built like an extra like layer over it so that it can't bomb itself from that statue at this time. So if the Order was to reattempt the ordeal, first of all they'd need to hear about the old future and all that. Second of all, they need to do something completely different because there's no way they'd be able to do that. Like, how could they even carry out the ordeal now that the Susball has been to the future technically, or the old future? It's technically been to the future, seen what happened, and then healed itself. If we're speaking from like a time travel sense, it's like an NPC. The Susball looked into the future and built armor, and that's like if we were saying that the old future never happened. The Susball just randomly gives itself armor. So it's kind of like I think there's a paradox in there somewhere. But what else is there? I guess we could talk about this. At spawn is this big statue. It's not the statue of Omega, it's the one with the crown. And it's doing like a T-pose, kind of like Christ the Redeemer. That is powered. It's powered by the Susball, because if you look in its eyes and its head, you can see all the sus essence in it. It's powered by the Susball to like guide players by teleporting them to guide players across the realm. I think there's a book somewhere. I don't know if it's still here. No, but there is an old statue. The old statue like started becoming sentient, so it got replaced by the bigger, more durable statue. That has nothing to do with the old future thing, because you know the word durable is being used again. It's just something regular that happened in the regular storyline. I'm looking inside the statue right now, the old statue for the book, in case I've forgotten anything. How do I get in here? I'll just dig a hole. Yeah, so the book says the Susball got mad at the gym because the gym tried fighting the Susball but big fail. So yeah, the old statue was called the gym. It's the same premise as the current one, except this one was like unstable or something, or you kind of get what I'm saying? It's something. But let's talk about the Bright Orchard now. So the Susball, pretty early on in the realm, shot a beam of light out of itself. Shot like a big zap, and it was slowly traveling, and then Omega saw it and was like, what the hell? So he placed a shield to block it, but instead of blocking it, it just ricocheted off the shield and crashed into the ground below the Susball, and it created this biome called the Bright Orchard, and the Bright Orchard kept spreading and turning all the grass like white and all the trees purple. So the Order of Creation was founded. Their main goal is to make sure the Susball is doing well, to protect it. And the Order of Creation and the Order are two different things. The Order is evil, the Order of Creation is not evil. The Order of Creation was created because the Bright Orchard, which is from the Susball, was spreading and needed to protect spawn, because like that's what good people do, but also protect the orchard because the orchard is technically part of the Susball. It's kind of like the Susball's child in a way, if you think about it like deeply, you know. So to stop the Bright Orchid from spreading, once it got quite large, they put a bunch of like frequency vibration machineries in the ground, and they vibrate at a frequency which prevents the biome from spreading. And they also built like a barrier around it, like a big industrial barrier to stop it from spreading too far in case the frequency vibrator things don't work. But let's say they don't work. The Bright Orchid can't spread through stone. Like, it can't spread through stone unless it goes like really deep into the ground, but it needs lots of surface area to even get that deep, like way larger than what it is now. So it can't spread through stone and it can't spread through water. So it would actually be contained in quite a large area, since there's a big stone wall blocking it from invading the rest of the server, as well as ponds and rivers and a barrier. So that's the Bright Orchid. Let's talk about the vultures. I'm going to do a part 2 of this. Actually, no, not a part 2, I'll just make it a 30-minute video, because why not? So the vultures, they're like the big bad guys. Not like the big bad, like the Order. The Order are like pure like destruction and stuff. It's kind of weird since they're called the Order, that they're destroying Order. But yeah, the vultures, they're like equivalent to like a raider faction. They pillage stuff. They pillage they pillage like other NPC places. They pillage big player factions like what's it called? Lakeside. Yeah, they've attacked Lakeside faction before, and they've raided Karlgrad. So I'll talk about Karlgrad in the next part, of this video. But pretty much they invaded it and they messed it up. So yeah, they invade stuff. They're like the main raiders, and you can tell when they're like present in an area because there'll be pale moss. In the lore it's called frost moss, and it's from their like cold personalities. Their ruthlessness causes this moss to form around their settlements and their camps. So that's pretty much the vultures summed up. Yeah, I mean, that is it for part 1. Part 2 will start after I say a word. Alright, so Karlgrad. This is part 2 now. Karlgrad. First, there is an add-on on the realm called Tinker's Construct. The big lore behind Karlgrad is not Karlgrad, the Iron Union is what the faction's called. Karlgrad is the city, their capital city. But yeah, the Iron Union, the big lore about them is they invented all the alloys and like all the tools and different things in the Tinker's Construct mod. They're responsible for the add-on, for the mod. And you can like, they have like Tinker's Construct shops and like money exchanges and stuff there. But basically, they used to be, like in like ancient times, there used to be like a very powerful like system of underground cities. Well, not cities, but like villages, bunkers. They used to be very powerful and underground, but they got heavily raided by the vultures, like a huge like war. and they managed to not get completely taken over. But the vultures did destroy most of their settlement, which is why if you go to Karlgrad, you'll see a bunch of sectors and districts, like District 8 and the Noble District are all like cobbled off, they're blocked off because of like all the horrible stuff that is inside them. Because the vultures raided Karlgrad and the Iron Union in ancient times. That's pretty much the whole Karlgrad thing. But yeah, it's called Karlgrad because the king is King Karl of the Iron Union. His dialogue is, "Hi, I'm the king." Because he's the king. But I think players can join Karlgrad. I'm not sure how the system works because that was built by Mr. No Name. I don't really know what they do in Karlgrad. But in the old future, Karlgrad was controlled by the Order. And weirdly enough, the vultures were hired by the Order as well in the old future. But that's not current lore, that's like stuff that technically didn't happen because it's in the past, but the future. It's paradoxical. Alright, there's a few more things. The jungle village. So, the very start of the realm. As soon as the Suspool created the universe or whatever, me and some friends logged on. It was Egg, Easy Fear, and someone called Pink Hat Dude. And we went to a jungle to build a base, and that's how Jungle Village was made. Jungle Village is like a it's like kind of like a holy settlement because that's where like it's got high admin density. Even Big Bang Dodo was going to base there, but I don't know what happened, but he just didn't end up doing it. He must have left EggCraft for a while and then came back later on. But yeah, it's a place in the jungle, and it's got farms and stuff, and it's got my starter base, it's got Easy starter base, it's got Pink Hat Dude's starter base, it's got Zaz's starter base. Zaz is the god of paper. He's like a demigod, and he's like the god of all things paper, you know, like sugarcane, and that's about it. So yeah, he's the god of paper. He's technically like the fifth god. And there's two more gods, but they're new. There's Big XR, who doesn't have like a lore name yet, because we've not talked about it. And there might be Battle and Beast. In the ordeal, there was a thing called Nutcraft towards the very, very end. And he applied for admin in Nutcraft, so he'll probably be admin in EggCraft as well. So that means 7 gods total. 6 of them are like all powerful and shit. And then one of them is a demigod, the god of paper. Alright, more current lore. There is this like player built faction. It's called Lakeside faction. Basically, they're this faction with a bunch of the players, all the most active players. Before the whole ordeal happened, it was quite huge. And then it like had a bunch of splinters off into different factions. But anyway, Lakeside faction, I think it's also called Potham's Imperium, I might be wrong. Bruh, I'm gonna get something wrong because like I didn't make this. I'm not 100% certain. But Lakeside Faction was made mostly by Blob. He like founded it with some other people. I think Mr. Dude might have been a founder. On eBay. Katan, and there was a few other people. But it's this place next to Karlgrad in the jungle, which have been attacked by vultures before. And they've also been attacked by Mexico, which isn't like a major lore character. But there was like Mexico attacked them. Just like a little joke. Holy shit, there's a huge tower. Anyway, they splintered off some people from it, like 2 or 3 people, Katan included, splintered off into this place called River Peak, which I created because I think Blob's government was like really bad. I think that's the reason. I don't remember, it was months ago. But technically, it was only weeks ago in the lore. So that's kind of a confusing little thing. So River Peak is this settlement which was made for all the people who it's all the people that did live in Potham's Imperium, but they ended up moving for whatever their reason is. I know Potham's Imperium had civil wars, but that might have happened in the old future. Because remember, the old future happened before the Order was powerful, not when the ordeal happened. So yeah, bunch of players moved to River Peak. Katan, a Vanuel Pro, he was one of the originals in a Lakeside faction, Potham's Imperium or whatever, I believe so. And they moved over here. It's like on a big cliff. It's got a bunch of houses. It's got like, what, let me count, like 5 player houses, some other structures as well, so it's pretty big. And it's next to this place called Play-Doh Island. Play-Doh Island is literally just an island made out of terracotta. Not like a mesa, it's just a regular island turned into terracotta. They're not a big old faction, but they have faction possibilities. They may be part of the lore in the future. It's possible. They have the capability to be implemented. Like they're set up, they got their banner, they got their flag, they got their territory. They got everything a faction would need. Let me think. Oh yeah, so since the ordeal ended and time got reverted, Blob, what I think was the leader, he's who I think was the leader of Lakeside faction. He's created a new faction now. It's brand new. It's like yesterday old. Called Astraria. In the old future, Astraria has existed multiple times. And not just in the old future, but also the ordeal in the other realms, like EggCraft New Lands and EggCraft Chapter 2. Astraria has existed. It might not have been in Chapter 2 though. I might be wrong there. But it's existed in some form throughout the realm a lot. And it's this brand new team Blob is making. And their territory, the reason I'm talking about is their territory includes Lakeside faction. So technically Lakeside faction is turning into Astraria. And Astraria is going to be like this big kingdom, he said. There's this other place, I forgot what it's called. But at the very, very start of the realm, it was the very first team. Like, there was a settlement in the jungle, that wasn't a team. This, as soon as EggCraft became like public, was the first team to be formed. I don't remember the exact name, because they had like 4 different names, they couldn't decide on a name. But it's this place like 500 blocks from spawn, with huge towers, and like a big like I think it's like a seaman tower in the middle. That does not sound like that does not sound good, but yeah, it's seaman tower or whatever. And this is the very first team, and the territory and the team were owned by Blob. So Blob has decided that they're also going to be part of the merging into Astrarian Empire. So the Astraria Empire has the territory of what's it called? Lakeside faction, keep forgetting it, and the Big Towers original old team. So yeah, that's the whole Pom's Imperium lore. Some of the Vultures lore as well. There's something else, it's just not clicking. Oh yeah, Fatberg Casino. In the old future, there's a lot of lore with Fatberg Casino. A lot of stuff happened. But since that's the old future, not the present day, there's not actually much lore about Fatberg Casino. It's a casino which you can go to, and you can gamble your egg bucks. And it makes 45 billion egg bucks a year globally. That's just like a stated fact. And they have a meat gambling machine. And that's about it for Fatberg as of now. More lore might come out in the future. In the current future, not the old future. Because the old future is filled with Fatberg lore. You'll find it in the EggCraft playlists on this YouTube channel. And last but not least, I don't know if it's not least, is it last? I don't know. There's this city, it's called Pigeon City. It's more like a town or like a village. It's 500 blocks from spawn. It's like the main NPC place. It's very small, because like it requires lots of building to build up a city and make it not look like out of proportion. Like you can't just build 2 skyscrapers and like 2 fast food places and call it a city. You need to gradually build it up. Anyway, Pigeon City is the main NPC city, and it has big lore potential because it's a city. It's filled with NPCs. There's going to be probably different storylines in Pigeon City itself. You can imagine that could happen. So yeah, that's the lore. If you enjoyed this video, please comment and like.